trying to go live. I don't know if it's working. Hey, I see stuff. Okay, looks like I'm getting a whopping half a frame per second. Again, excellent. But if it's like last time, at least the audio is coming through. Let me know if the audio is working. I may be a little quiet because I mumble. Testing 1, 2. The levels look okay on the mic, maybe. Just great. I'm gonna try switching hotspots. Okay, started low. Alright, well I'll just go, try to go pretty slow here. Keep things from moving around too much so that you can actually see what I'm doing. I guess I'll just start and get this computer out of the way here. Just that easy. So yeah, I just got back from holiday travels yesterday, and I will start off with the mailbag because that's what I arrived home to. So where'd that bag go? That's over there. Miscellaneous stuff. So I got a few, excuse me, finally got some parts in that I had ordered off of AliExpress, so they take a while to get here. I had to order some heat shrink tubing because there's no place in town to just go and get some decent heat shrink. So I got a few feet here. Let's see, I got some neat little magnetic connectors here, and I have a couple of specific projects in mind for these. Some of you can probably guess, and you might even be right. But I got some 20-pin ones and some 6-pin ones. And they're nice because you can't hook them up backwards. They only go together the right way. Pretty neat. Let's see, I got these little trimmer potentiometers that I have been wanting for a while. And what are those for? Switch over to my desktop. If I can find my mouse. There we go. I've been working on this board for a SCART, RGB to SCART adapter. That basically I want some trimmer pots on the board. To make it easy to set the levels exactly where I want them, because I can't seem to find a single resistor that works for every value to give me a consistent picture between different SCART to HDMI boxes. The newer boxes they're not all the same internally, put it that way. They all look the same, but they are not the same internally. Some have better electronics than others. So anyway, I should be able to, this is actually designed to go inside the box, and it's actually designed to go on a HDMI inside SCART box. So it's designed to go inside the CoCo2 under the motherboard, and this would actually mount on the SCART board on the back of the SCART connector instead of plugging into it, mainly to save a little room, and it just kind of fits in the case better that way. And I'm just about ready to have these made. I was ordering the parts just to do a little bit of proof of concept, you know. And let's go back. I'm gonna go to this guy here. And what else came in the Amazon package? Well, we're kind of leading back to the joystick part of the video, so I'm going to go into the mailbag here. So the other package that I got that was waiting for me when I got home was this package that I got from Mr. Dave on the CoCo Discord. Mr. Dave 6309, 6809 formerly, but he got an upgrade. So I had ordered these keyboard blanks from him, because I am building computers from scratch now, and I need some keyboards to go along with them, right? And he threw in a bunch of goodies to go with it, so I'll kind of take a gander at some of these. But yeah, this is a really nice looking board. I'm actually really looking forward to building one of these out. I'm going to have to order cherry key switches for it and a set of keycaps, but that will be just fine. What else is in here? We got another controller that he's designed, Mr. Dave's game control. So this is designed, looks like just a D-pad on this one. A couple of buttons, pretty straightforward. Like we got some ROM pack boards, timer. I think these are for like 64K EEPROMs, so you could put multiple games on there, multiple cartridges. I think a standard cartridge is 8K, so you could fit up to 8 normal cartridges on there. Another ROM pack. This is like his prototype board that has features like a LED that flashes and such, 555 timers. It's like a proto board but for gaming. And yeah, we'll get into these in future episodes for sure. We'll do some custom ROM packs. I'll be getting myself a EEPROM programmer soon. I've been meaning to do that. Another blue board here. Yeah, okay, here's the ROM development board. So you can see that. Let's see here, we have, okay, he sent a few sample keys along. for the cherry keyboard. So select some RGB LEDs in there, a little bit of header, pin header. What do we got there? That looks like a 24 to 28 pin EEPROM adapter. What do we have here? This looks like a made for a DB9, probably a joystick converter. Okay, so looks like that goes, yeah, a couple transistors, some resistor switching. Yeah, convert a standard Atari stick to simulated analog. Very nice. What else do we got in here? Another standard 6-pin socket plug, or pin header. Here we go. Oh, nice. These are keyboard plugs. This plugs into the Color Computer 3 motherboard, and you can solder some wires onto there, or whatever. What's this stuff? Okay, looks like it's off the board there. Okay, yeah, very cool. These, so you can make a keyboard extension cable with these, or obviously this would need some sort of a socket on it. So yeah, these actually, I've already got some things planned for these, and not just this. So those are very cool. Thank you very much, Mr. Dave. Looking forward to assembling this stuff. Yeah, I think he said this board, this controller board, can actually be used as an analog stick and a D-pad controller, so that's very handy. However you configure it, I'll probably figure out a way to do both simultaneously. So let's see if I can dig that thing back out here. Of course. Yeah. So just to give you guys one little foreshadowing of what I might actually do with this guy. So, yep. This is actually a 20 pin, so that would leave me extra traces for, say, a power light and a turbo light and a reset button. So yeah, that is really cool. Thank you again, Mr. Dave. Okay, so the other thing that was in my Amazon order was this little, I didn't get just one, but this joystick pot here. This matches what's in this, my dual stick controller here that I built. This is actually one of my favorite color computer game controllers ever. I just built this after I pulled it out of storage a while back, and it works really good. I'm blown away by how well this works. But the thing is, if you look at it's got self-centering sticks on here. That one works pretty good still. This guy, it's a little bit floppy. Doesn't like to go back to the center, and the numbers on the screen, I mean, it still reads accurately, it just doesn't self-center. It's floppy. It even flops over just by gravity, so that's not good. So in order to fix that, I'm just going to replace the whole potentiometer. And then before we get to that, we're just going to do a quick some joystick overhauls here. Like I said, so this is actually from somebody on the Color Computer Discord. Had a couple of sticks that he's wanting them, you know, just kind of renovated, cleaned up, brought back to like new. So that's what we're gonna do here, and that's where I'm gonna start right now. I've got 2 of these to go. And before I start anything else on this, first thing you might want to notice is that this is one of the very original Craft Tandy Deluxe Joysticks. How do you know? Well, it's only got 1 button. So if we look on the bottom, I don't think that'll show up on camera, but it is catalog number 26-3012, and it is badged TRS-80 Deluxe Joystick. There we go. So the 26-3012 is the original single button. This particular stick, the button is cracked on here, and I've spoken to the owner about it, and I don't know, he's also not a sentimental originalist, and I asked him if he would like it converted to a 2-button stick, and he said he would not mind doing that. So yeah, we'll look into that possibility. This does have only a 5-pin connector, and I'm gonna assume there's only 5 conductors in the wire, so if we do that, obviously the whole wire would have to be replaced. That's not even a problem. I'm going to set this one aside for now. I actually do have some of these buttons brand new on order. You can find them on eBay, Amazon, even Jameco and DigiKey sell these, but they're about $5 a piece, which is a little steep in my mind. Got them for less than half of that, so. So this is actually one of my deluxe joysticks. You can see that this is labeled Tandy Deluxe Joystick. It is a 2-button, and this is the 26-3012B Bravo. So the B is labeled Tandy, and the main difference for the B is that there's apparently an extra support internally in the case underneath the long axis of the stick. So in addition to the second button. Now let's see. This is where we're actually going to start today. In the box, it is also a 3012B according to the box here. Of course you can see that because my finger is cleverly in the way. Yeah, let's just pull that out. So this is, yeah, it's got some foam stuck on the cord. That is not a happy looking cord. This is very, yeah. So the rubber on this cord is very dry, just feels icky. Doesn't feel like it was in the box the whole time, but maybe it was, as much as the foam is stuck to it. Alright, come on, buddy. Definitely got the 2 buttons here. Oh, bonus. What do we got here? Okay, now I feel bad because I don't have the chat. I don't have the stream open and I can't see if anybody's trying to talk to me. Let me get that open real quick. So what do we have while that's open? Service policy. Radio Shack's nationwide network of service facilities provides quick, convenient, and reliable repair service. You should have sent it to Radio Shack. Okay, hey, they actually have the pin out here. That's nice. That's your little explanation there. Getting my stream open here, guys. Bear with me. Okay. Oh yeah, how do you guys like my little 1084 box here that I made? Did some playing around with OBS. Alright, so yeah, we got our connecting the joystick instructions, fire buttons, notes, x-axis, y-axis, adjusting. Because yes, you gotta have your pots here. So that's interesting. One difference that... Oh, that doesn't look good either. Case is bowed out. But yeah, on my 3012B, my adjusting pots have a little tab sticking up right in the center, and these are smooth. I actually like this better because I cannot tell you how many times I've been playing and accidentally bumped those tabs and knocked my joystick centering off. So yeah, these buttons look nice here. The case overall looks pretty good, mostly clean, a little bit of dust, feels firm, but man, that cord, yeesh. Specification sheet. I love that they have the pin out with this. And we have the owner's manual. Congratulations on purchasing the Tandy Color Computer Deluxe Joystick. The joystick specifically designed to increase your screen positioning power while you use your computer. Whether you're playing a game or reconciling your budget, you'll find the joystick to be a definite enhancement to your Tandy computer system. The joystick features easy installation by connecting to either joystick connector on your computer, or both connectors if you have two joysticks. Separate X and Y axis controls to give you precise screen positioning. Selectable free-floating or spring center return control stick adjustments that tailor the stick action to the software you're using. Convenient fire buttons to let you execute game or program functions quickly and efficiently. Copyright 1985. Operating mode, nice. So let's see. Right now we are locked. We are screen centered. So Opposite free. Put it in a corner. Push free. Right, now we have our free floating mode, non-centering. So those both work good. That's nice. Alright, when I'm disassembling these, I like to leave the self-centering on initially. That was a healthy little crack there. I don't think these have been opened before, or this one. Maybe it has, but I don't think that will be a... Oh no, these are definitely... Yeah, that's not an original screw. Okay. Alright, so with this locked in self-centering mode, when I split the halves, that'll help the joystick stay in the bottom half. If you leave it in free floating mode, you never know which. It might, half of it might stick to the bottom and half try and come out the top. It can get a little wonky. So that was easy. Okay, well that did not do what I said it was going to do, did it? Did exactly what I said I didn't want it to. Okay, perfect. Let's pull that out of there. So, doesn't look too bad in there. That looks like... So, I am just going to give this a quick... So I believe that is adhesive. Man, kind of gnarly looking, but okay. There's a lot of little pieces of foam inside this, but overall it looks good. I did plug this in to a basic joystick reading routine and read back the values, and it seemed fairly stable. I don't think the pots are like badly oxidized or anything. I'm going to go ahead and just put a drop of deoxit in each one and work them back and forth. Now, it is a little bit inconvenient with these that you can't take it all away from the top half, mainly because of the buttons being soldered in. But that's fine. We can work with this. So, if you look behind the solder terminals here, you can see a gap, and inside the potentiometer you actually are directly accessing the wiper through that opening. I will say this before I start. I'm going to pop these little springs off, because if you accidentally go too far while doing this, they can go flying. I would rather them stay in my control than go flying across the room. So there, just pull that off. That's fine. The spring's going to stay there. Okay, that's fine. So I'm just going to put a few drops right here. Drop over there. Let's work this. Nice. You can generally feel when the deoxit is hitting the wiper, and it just kind of feels smoother. If you get a little bit of deoxit on the outer case, that's fine. That's actually a good thing. I just wipe it around with my finger. That puts a tiny, thin coating on it. Just keep it from corroding over time. Doesn't hurt anything. Probably helps it last a little longer in the grand scheme of things. Okay, so we're going to do another one here. Again, got your self-centering mechanism, and I am just going to keep my finger on the bottom half of it and pop the top off of the lever. Set the lever to the side. These are both the same, so you don't have to worry about mixing them up. A couple drops again. I thought about a CM8 Tim, but I don't have that one here at the house. It's at work. Plus it doesn't support artifact colors. This actually has a little bit of solder on the outside of the insulation there. That's not good. Peels off okay. Yeah, this feels nice now. Alright, so before I put all that back together, I'm going to clean up the case itself. So when I do this, you want to use something that is lint-free. Tim, this is not your shirt. This is a 7-Eleven shirt, so don't worry. I wouldn't do this with my sibling rivalry t-shirt. Keep some cotton swabs too. And if you don't have cotton swabs handy, it is possible to do something like take your little screwdriver, put it in there, and work down into the little cracks if you need to. Excuse me. I do have cotton swabs. I just wanted to show you the mad skills. Alright. Overall, this one's pretty clean already. I'm not gonna go too crazy on it. The one thing I'm gonna try to do is make sure that the case closes back up properly. There's two little pins sticking up here, little nubs, and on this side there's two little slots, whatever. These go in there, and apparently last time it was assembled they were left outside of it. So yeah, a little more care should be exercised. Cord. Alright, I gotta go grab something. I'll be right back. The other tool you need to have for doing this kind of thing is a toothbrush. And this is real good for getting into these nooks and crannies around the seam, all in here, around the edges of the push buttons. So this is kind of the technical part of the stick to clean up, the top half of the case. Lubing the pots is easy. Cleaning the cable is relatively easy, although this one's going to have a bit of elbow grease to getting all this foam off, and man, I mean, it feels like if it gets cleaned up it might be okay, so I'm not going to write it off just yet. Boy, it's rough. Even the connector is not, it's like off center. Alright, case, focus. Alright. These buttons do press out, but even if we pressed them out, we would have to desolder them before we could separate the wiring from the case. Mildly annoying. It's not worth all that. It's not worth the hassle to do that. So I always try and bunch up the fabric or whatever I'm using to get way down into the corners around the buttons. This thing has been put together that way for a while. You can see that the case just has that kind of permanent set to it. It's almost tempting to try and maybe hit it with a, I don't want to say a heat gun, but just kind of warm the thing up slightly. I don't know. We'll see how it goes back together, if I think I need to do that. Heat can be your friend, but it can also be the destroyer. See, we're getting a little bit of funk onto the t-shirt there, so it's definitely, we're doing something here. We're not just shining the plastic. This guy. So first, like I say, I'll just kind of bunch this up and run it around in here, and then I'll go back with the toothbrush just to make sure I get into all the little corners. Gotta remember to get this guy. Oh, that's not good. No. Okay. You lose one of these metal rods, that's pretty much the ball game. They are the crux of the biscuit. You need those. This part was extremely dirty. That's better. Okay. So this goes in, I think it's like so. Yeah, the long side long end goes up into the shaft. Maybe. We'll figure it out. I don't think that's right. No, definitely the long end goes up. So, of course I didn't pay attention to which side is X and which is Y. Shouldn't be too hard to figure out, since this one won't even reach over there. Before we put it back in, we gotta put the, oops. Okay, so on the potentiometer here, basically this screw should be sticking towards the bottom of the stick, which is facing me right now. Get our latching lever, put it in the hole there, and then we need to get that up over that spring again. So I'm going to use my little screwdriver here. I'm going to put it on the flat blade side. And always remember, keep your thumb over the other end so it can't go flying when it slides off the screwdriver. So just try and get this up over there. Yep, see. Nope. Flat blade screwdriver may not be the best tool for the job. Go. Make sure it slides all the way into the little notch there. That doesn't seem right. Yeah, okay, I think we're good. So yeah, we've got a support here. Same thing on this side. Get the got this hole over here. Got a pin goes in the hole. This cutout goes over the potentiometer shaft. Boom. Thumb over the spring and slide this up over. Nope. Go. All right. So those sit in there like so. Looks like I missed a spot. Okay. So these go in like so, and obviously this has to be put in there before you put these in. It's a little bit tricky, but there's a reason that one comes out so easily. So pull this up just slightly, just enough. All right. Thank you. So again, the one that's permanent here is the one you put in first, and that is the Y-axis. Come on, get up there. Thank you. All right. So now you put this in here. To the shaft of the stick. Get the potentiometers into their grooves, and voila. Now we tuck the wires in so nothing gets pinched when we reassemble. Typically if you pinch the wires, nothing bad happens, but the insulation will eventually, it just kind of squeezes out like Play-Doh, and if you have more than one wire, they will definitely short out over time. So never run wires under carpet for the same kind of reason. Eventually it wears out. Okay, everything's fine there. Fine. Alright, so we're going to go back with this lid. I'm going to go ahead and leave this cord in here for now, and we'll see. If I can't clean it up, then we'll switch it out later. But there we go. Since these screws are not original, I'm going to put them back the way they were. One of the screws is not original, one of them is. Okay. So this one is basically done now. Go to the unlock position. And boom. Good as new. Except that ugly ass cord. Yeet. Alright. So I'm going to set this one aside for now. I'll get to the cord later. That's going to take some care, and I think at the very least some alcohol, which I do not have here. Well, maybe not. That stuff just kind of peels off. That's how thick it is on there. Nasty. But yeah, I think I'm going to get like some maybe some silicone spray to put on this cord after I get it clean, if I can even get it clean. And then I will probably just replace this socket. It's so, well, I don't know. We'll see if it cleans up. Doesn't look rusted, it just looks dirty. Okay. Not that. this guy. So here you can see the little tabs I was talking about on the self-centering adjustment knobs. They make it convenient for the actual centering, but when you're playing a game, it's too easy to, you know, just bump them off in the heat of battle. Again, this one has a busted switch here, so I will be replacing that switch, and again, with the owner's consent, possibly adding a second button to this stick. And if I do that, oh my god, if I were to do that, this would probably, I would maybe manually add an A to the end of that, because that was the A. Basically this with two buttons is a 26-3012A, and it's still labeled TRS-80 Deluxe Joystick on the A version, and the B version is labeled Tandy. So technically, if I add a second button, this would become an A version. Alright, so my regular screwdriver doesn't quite fit down in these. They are deep. This is not, it's not quite the same housing. Okay, that is an original screw, and I think this is the first time it's been removed. Oh my god, these are stiff. Hear that crack? Okay. So this is actually the first single button deluxe joystick I think I've seen. I don't remember ever seeing these back in the day. The cable on this actually looks really good. It's nice and shiny and pliable, soft, supple. Unfortunately, it's only 5 wires, so not capable of supporting 2 buttons. Okay, so press down on the stick and wiggle gently. It almost feels like there's a third screw in there somewhere. There can't be. There we go. Wow. It's like a metal rod sticking up in here. Interesting. Okay, I'll put those in there. Alright. Wow. So these wires are very tidy. I have never seen a deluxe joystick with this much care put into the routing of the wires and twist ties on the wires. Slightly, looks like a slightly different. I mean, all of the plastic pieces look a little bit different. This doesn't look like those other ones, but yeah, neither here nor there. It all does the same. So here, yeah, you can see on the long side of this joystick, there's no support on this side, where the other one, it goes all the way around and has a support over here. That's on the B version. As I understand it, the A version is just like this. It does not have the support on this side. Okay, so let's get these out of here. Just basically lift right up out. We got slots here and here, and these are both just kind of got your little rails to slide into those slots. So this guy slides right off there and there, just like the other one. As different as they look, they're still pretty much the same. Boy, this thing is definitely got some gunk in there though. Oh. All right. So the toothbrush still has a little bit of the cleaner in it. Getting all these little grooves in the knob. Try and get the groove under the knob. There's not really anything up under there, so it's not bad. Okay, set that aside. Okay. It's a little bit dusty inside this case. Is that? It's like some sort of, maybe it's just some foam. Alright, so once again, pretty much the same mechanism here. So I'm gonna put a dab of deoxit right here. I would use some light machine oil, like some 3-in-1 or some sewing machine oil, but I don't have any here. It actually feels pretty good, nice and smooth. Just the tiniest drop there, not even a big drop, just a little tiny bit. These knobs need to be cleaned up too. So. The pots themselves look really good. No oxidation on the surface. Not even dirty looking. So, again, if you're not going to take these springs off, for the first time I just wanted to demonstrate it. I'm just going to do it this way for now. Just be very careful not to go too far. Maybe keep a finger over it so that that spring can't go flying. A little bit too far and that spring will just go like a shot. Okay. Forgot to do this one earlier, so get this knob cleaned up. Case a quick cleaning. Again, it doesn't look too bad. It's got some dirty spots here and there. This one doesn't have any rubber feet on it. Okay, that looks okay. Inside looks good, the outside's a little rougher. So, after I get this one cleaned up and back together, just FYI, I will be tackling the joystick replacement on my dual stick controller. So we'll get into some soldering, and you'll get to see the inside of that beast. Okay. toothbrush is pretty good at getting the corners like in these little circle indentations. I had a lot of grime in there. Still a few little specks here and there, not perfect. I think the bottom is good. Yeah, I really apologize for the real crappy frame rate, guys. There's literally no internet providers at this address at this time. I'm using either a public library Wi-Fi hotspot or my phone hotspot. So this is all I can do for now. Either that or I have to go to work to do this. And who wants to go to work to play with? Well, it'd actually be pretty cool if I could go to work and play with CoCos all day. Any of you guys hiring? As it shouldn't. Maybe a little up there. Yeah. Alright. Clean around here. The inside of the top half generally doesn't get too dirty, but right around the joystick itself, the ball part, sometimes dirt can get up around in there. It's not bad. Okay, this guy. Okay, looking good. Okay, well, can definitely see that this was a very well used stick. Got quite a bit of wear on the insides, right around where the stick rubs up against the edges. It's the sort of thing that just comes with hours and hours of good old-fashioned controller therapy. Alright. So again, with the stick itself, it's always a good idea to put a tiny bit of a light machine oil on these. So I'm just going to use this for now. Deoxit is a decent substitute. Line up the slots. Okay, that's not right. That ain't right at all. Oh, maybe it is. Yeah, it is. Okay. So this guy doesn't have, well, it does have a longer side, but it's just barely longer. It's not quite as obvious. So just to make sure, you see this little hook here? It's like a question mark. You want the curved part to go outside of the stick, not into the stick like that. So putting it in like that would be wrong. You want it to go in like this. Hello. With that little hook sticking up, not back. Not in, rather. Okay. Give me the other knob. Uh-oh. So we've lost a wire here. We lost our axis. I'll have to solder that in before I go much further. So, yeah. Let's just go ahead and turn on the soldering iron. Cool. So the newer ones have much wider, I guess, little slots and notches. These are very skinny and a little bit finicky to see here and line up just perfectly. Okay, there we go. Gotta get that on there first. It's just, this one's a little bit more finicky to get back together. Oh yeah, that's right. There we go. Okay, now this brown wire broke loose, so I've got to reconnect that. Iron is warming up. I need to find my knife. Here we go. Okay. So this can be a little tricky too. You don't want to score the wire. Kind of try and walk the blade around it without sawing on the copper. There we go. Alright, so there we go. I guess, I don't know if there's anyone out there who has never had one of these apart yet and know exactly what's going on in here. It's pretty straightforward, a simple voltage divider. So, with the potentiometer, as you move the stick back and forth, you're basically rotating the potentiometer in here one way or the other. The red wire is 5 volts on both pots. The black wire is ground on both pots. Ground represents 0. 5 volts represents 63 in your joystick value readings. So let's see where the button is. This will be your y-axis, the green wire. The brown is your x-axis for left and right. And it's just a simple voltage divider inside the computer. It's basically reading anywhere from 0 to 5 volts, wherever that wiper is in the potentiometer. That's all there is to it. The joystick buttons, each button has its own wire that is shorted to ground when you push the button. So let's get this back together. So yeah, this case, on the newer cases, the slots only go like halfway, and there's slots in the bottom half too. So that's a pretty significant difference in how these are made. We also don't have the little nubs that we had in the other one that forced it to go together wrong. Okay. This is pretty good. Skinny driver. Alright, good. So the final step on this one, I'm just going to go ahead, get some nice cleaning fluid on the cloth and just basically pull the cord through it a couple of times. This cord was already pretty good looking, so we're not really doing too much here, other than what we call due diligence. This thing looks nice, pretty clean. Again, it's only 5 pins, but I'm gonna go ahead, because we got all this, it just looks a little not good around the base of that socket. So we're just gonna kind of push that in, push the cord. Alright, now we'll go ahead and bend this back up so that when we put it back together it'll latch. So these don't need to be soldered or anything, they just kind of fit together like so. Here you can confirm the pinout. Brown is X, green is Y, black is ground, white is the button, and red is 5 volts. And that is exactly what you would see looking into the back of the computer. So it's the same here, except there's no pin 6 on this joystick. Pin 6 is for the second joystick button, which means that and on the CoCo1 and 2 they have the 6-pin sockets, they just never hooked up the second fire button. It's not even routed on the board, so you can plug in a 2 joystick button, but there's no way to read that second button on a CoCo1 or 2. So let's polish this up a little bit. It looks a lot better. Got a little bit of just wear in the actual plating. I mean, you can only do so much with cleaning. These pins, they don't look great. I'm gonna scrub this a bit, and then I'm gonna dab some deoxit on these pins. Actually, I'm probably gonna replace this, so I will not waste the deoxit for now. If I don't upgrade this to 2 buttons, then I will deoxit those pins. But that looks so much better. Okay, so I'm going to set this one aside now. Put this paperwork back where it belongs in the box. That one aside. Alright, now we're going to tackle this guy. And while we go through it, I can explain how I kind of made this. Some of you on the Discord have seen it before and already know that this was a former, like an inexpensive drone controller. And somebody gave it to me and I didn't have the drone to control with it, so what else would I do? One more. The most important one, man. Alright. So, nothing in there. Pull these buttons out real quick. So, how did I do this? Well, this thing had a bunch of electronics in it. Basically, I heated up the board and removed everything. The controller chip, all the resistors and capacitors, all of it just went away. Somewhere, I took a photo of this and traced out the traces and figured out what I'd need to connect to what. The one thing that I really had to modify is that both of the sticks had the y-axis inverted relative to what the CoCo expects. So on both of these sticks you can see that I had to basically cut traces and reroute power and ground to the y-axis, which wasn't such a pain. It was fine. Oh, that's not good. Got a couple of wires stuck in the screw hole there. Perfect. So what are these wires and the switch doing? Basically, when I use this stick, all of these buttons are wired up, including these two, as button 1 and button 2. So it's like, for the left stick, this will be button 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, because you can't, it's hard to use the same buttons on this. If I'm using this stick, I can't hit these buttons with the same hand. I use these buttons. And likewise, these, if I'm using this stick, these are button 1 and 2 in pairs. And then these two up here, this is a little bit trickier, but when I switch the switch to the right, then this will be button 1 for the right stick, and this will be button 2 for the right stick. And if I flip it to the left, then this will be button 1 for the left stick, and this will be button 2 for the left stick. So just a standard wiring hookup. And for a cable, again, this was a drone controller, so it was a radio, did not have a cable sticking out. I actually used an HDMI cable, which had more than enough conductors. As you can see, there's at least 3 or 4 here not used. That should not, okay, whatever. But yeah, power, ground, 2 button wires routed every which way, and basically a joystick for left and a joystick for right. Pretty straightforward, and it works well. The other thing that I learned with this stick, originally it had 5K pots in it. Where did I put that thing? Anybody see where I put that potentiometer joystick? Oh, probably back here. Ouch. Oh, there it is. I see it. Okay. So, for the record, you cannot use 5K joystick potentiometers with a color computer. It will not read full range. And even with a 10K, it's not perfect. The CoCo was designed for 100K joystick pots. 10K does work, but kind of right on the edge of working. So if you get any of these little joysticks and you're wondering if they'll work or not, look for the number that has like a B102 or B103 in this case. Yeah, they'll generally, there's only 2. They'll either be a B502 or a B103. So the B502, it's like the resistor code, 5, 0, and then 2 more zeros, so that's 5,000 ohms. B103, B1, 0, and then 3 more zeros, so 10,000 ohms. And then the other numbers here have to do with the angles and stuff of the pot. But the important thing is the 10K value. So let me make sure I get the right one here. This is the one I need to desolder. I don't have any flux here. Normally when desoldering, flux is the most important thing, so we'll see how badly this goes for me. I will say that this little Viraloy solder sucker does an amazing job. Okay. See my little jumper wire there? I gotta remember to put that back. That's a part. Alright, let's see how. Okay, where did my screwdriver go? See how we've done. Screw. Yeah, that wasn't tedious at all. Okay. Also, not sure how these even. God damn it, this isn't the right size. Perfect. I just desoldered all that for nothing. There's a work in there, if that's even. Yeah, that's just great. So what is Ow. That's like 12 millimeters. What is this? This is 15. Okay. So I need 15 millimeter pots, not 12. Perfect. You'd think I would have figured that out before I ordered them. Oh well. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. Okay, just checking. Definitely. Okay, well, I got another joystick module to do something else with, I guess. Make a little controller. Not a particular fan of these two-piece sticks. Alright, so this goes back together. And I get to try again later. Oh, that's what it was, the LED. The LED in this isn't hooked up to anything, so that's fine. Okay. Whoops, I forgot to put. Yep. Well, not just that, I didn't even solder the joystick back. I would just leave it until I get a replacement, but it actually does still work, so I can use it in the meantime. We'll just do. guess I could just start with a fresh piece, but I don't have one laying around. How about if we just not leave it on a damn parked on a hill? Okay. Guess I'm gonna have to get a longer piece. How did that even work before? Maybe I got them backwards, I don't know. Okay, that'll work. Alright, well that's a bummer. Okay, where did the door go? Okay, well that's just the door is here somewhere. I seem to have misplaced it. It'll turn up somewhere. In the meantime, we are, let's see, where am I? Holy shit, 2 hours in. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and build this. This is from AC's 8-bit zone. A replacement for the RF modulator or composite Radio Shack composite output, but this is AC's composite board. Let's see if that'll, I don't know, maybe you can see that, maybe not. But I'm going to go ahead and populate this and solder it up. that out for now. Snap in. That sucker's in there good. He probably bent the leads out. Yep. There we go. Okay. As most people, I like to start with the resistors. The lowest, low profile components first. Okay, good. What are we doing here? 360 ohms. I will just take them as I see them. You can't even see the colors on these things. They're so tiny, even with my side set on. Another 2.2. So this composite board is actually going into Tom's computer. If Tom is watching, probably not. He's busy working on other things. But he actually purchased my color computer 2 with the CoCo DV board, so he could have something decent to work on instead of his CoCo2 with terrible composite output, so we're doing this composite mod to hopefully fix his original CoCo2. Okay, what else? 560. And these tiny ass little things. 1/8 watt resistors. 560, where are you? Okay, seriously, where is the 560? Maybe there's something in the notes about that. Okay, the 200K, those I see. Hey, what? Okay, I see what I did. Okay, so I was a little bit hasty. There's a 560 ohm resistor here and a 1K here on the board. R2 says 1K, and I put the 1K there instead of in R7 where it should be. R2 is supposed to be 560. So the silk screen is wrong on that one resistor. Not a big deal. So here's what we'll do. I'm gonna pop that one out. These are not the easiest resistors to work with, but it'll be fine. Ow. That didn't hurt. Okay. So R7 1K. Just enough. And the 560 goes here. guess we can do this socket next. Come on. Get 2 diagonal pins started, then we'll press down on the socket and reflow those 2 pins. Make sure that it's sitting flat on the board. Good. Get the rest of them. Come on. Four. Okay, C3 and C4. We'll go with these first. We'll do the ones we know we can do. C3. Here's one. C4. C8. Okay, get these in. That's all of those off the card. It's a cool card. I like that Agent AC Allen. volts. Okay, at some point I think I'm gonna have to pull up the schematic to figure out what goes where, capacitor wise. There we go. Those are all 104, so I can put those in. Three different capacitors, no, two different capacitors. Almost looks like those two go in the bigger holes and that big one goes in the smaller hole. Three transistors, I wonder if those are all the same. 2N4401, so I don't have to worry about which one goes where. Hopefully just line them up with the silk screen and nothing can go wrong. Alright. So I've got these couple little wires. Got Luma and Chroma. I wonder, I could probably hook this up for S-Video. I will definitely be giving that a shot. Because S is way better quality than composite. Okay. I like it. Looks good. I'm gonna hold off putting on the composite output. we'll see what goes, what happens. And I think for now, hold on. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I want to verify the capacitors with the schematic before I go any further. And look into the S-video option. But for now, what we're going to do is our final stage. Ah, there's the lid. Of our controller therapy. There it is. So we're going to start with that guy. Plug into the left joystick port. And the texture on that joystick. I don't know if you can even see it on that camera, but if you compare the I can see it in the preview. This is like smooth, and this is just not. This is like 2 to 3 times more texture than the newer Deluxe joysticks. Kind of intense. Alright, anyway, where are we going here? We're gonna go to capture. Boom. There we go. So just real quick, I'll run this joy test. This doesn't do anything but just read the numbers and show them, you know. If I move the stick to the left, I'm on the right stick, it goes to 0. If I move to the right, it goes 63. If I move up, what the heck? Okay. Something's not happy there. There we go. Up to 0, down to 63, left 0, right 63, 0, 0, 63, 63, full range. It's very nice. Okay, where's that? There we go. sure these are the right screws for this case. So that's the original one. This is the B with the messed up cable. Zoinks. I think that this can still be plugged in. Let me get this in here. Yeah. For now, we can go full range on this guy. Just the centering. About 32 is right where you want them to center. 31, 32, perfect. Alright, so these are both looking good. There's no jitter. Pretty responsive. Buttons work. I'm not reading the second button on this program because it's designed for CoCo2 compatibility at the moment. And I don't remember the proper peaks. Anyway, onward with the correct amount of CoCo therapy, controller therapy I should say, because this is the ultimate. We'll go there. Just see how this goes. Definitely do not like the way the case feels on this, and those screws are bottom down, but oops. Stick action feels pretty good. Definitely think it's responding well. No flakiness in the motion. The button pretty responsive. Okay. Well, that works well. I'm going to switch sticks. This one already feels better. Except for the cable. Pretty much like the other one. Nice and responsive, pretty snappy. The buttons feel a little better. Alright, well, they work. They feel good. I would say this one is, well, I gotta finish the cable on this one, and the other one, I don't know, the screws don't seem to be holding the case together properly. They're bottomed out, but it still feels loose. I'm gonna figure something else out on it. But at any rate, these are almost done. I'm doing these also for someone on the list, so I'll be sending them back soon. But I want to make sure they're really right. I have to do the cable on this one, and I have to do probably the cable and the button on the other one. Yeah. At any rate, I think I'm going to wrap this one up. Let me catch up on the chat here, see what's... Sorry, I've been neglecting that. How wrote me this? Mr. Dave was kind and generous in creating a replacement PCB for the Power A wired USB controller for Nintendo Switch. Controllers found at Walmart on clearance. Sounds cool. Yeah, I'm definitely into experimenting with various controllers. Happy to send you a controller. I would definitely appreciate that. If you're on the CoCo Discord, you can contact me as Coconut Bob. Trouble removing the original joysticks from the original PCB and installing them to Mr. Dave's board. Worked fine. Sounds cool. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing with some of this stuff. Thanks again, Mr. Dave. Let me switch cameras back here. I want to go. We'll go back here. Yeah. definitely look forward to playing with these guys, and especially this, because I definitely have a special plan for that, which you may have. Okay, where did that just go? Freaking magnets, you know, how do they work? But anyway, that's going to be a cool project. Alright. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I will be trimming this video up on Creator Studio, and I'm going to throw in some links in there, some Mr. Dave video links to show some of the things on these boards as I go through and build them out. We'll show all the details, the work that he went to, and what works, what doesn't work. At any rate, thanks for watching. One last note here, I will just show you because I love looking at it. The insides of my color computer 3 here with, I got Kieran's 512 memory board. I've got the built-in HDMI output here with the nice new flexi cable. I've got my CoCo turbo light over here right beside the keyboard, and here you can just kind of see where I have the clock wire hooked up to run over to the circuit. Here's the power, which hooks up where the original LED used to hook up, and now the LED just hooks up right here. And I'll put a turbo light and it'll plug in right there. So, fun stuff. I'm getting all the parts and stuff together. I'm going to start sending some more of these boards out. I've sent out a couple now, and I've got parts to send some more out. So if I have ordered from you and you have sent me parts and I have your address, I'll probably be sending one of these boards to you. At any rate, that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching, and CoCo every day. Cheers. I'm bad at this. Cool. And that's that.